what do refugees drink? Foreign aid. That's right, welcome back for a terrible Tuesday. Let's just hope the illegal migrants haven't ruined your week. Now, speaking of people coming and going, UK net migration was at a record high last year of 745,000 despite the Tory manifesto. Well, did you expect them to follow through with anything they've said? Do you expect any party to follow through with anything they say? No, didn't think so. But yes, 1.2 million people moved here, while 508,000 people had the lucky chance to leave. Super sustainable, right? On a small island which is going bankrupt, the NHS, the no health service, on its knees, no bobbies on the beat, and the ones that are working still are probably being investigated themselves. The schooling system completely fucked, the judicial system a complete joke, and public spending so far out of control you might as well just burn the cash.
It's over. We are screwed.
Now, somebody that has no business talking about it is that bumbling buffoon. No, not Boris, the other one. You know, that grandpa that should be in a care home and not running a country? Joe Biden has been blasted for embarrassing meddling in UK migration policy. This guy is an embarrassment, telling us we shouldn't withdraw from the ECHR and that it could threaten the peace with Northern Ireland. Mind your own business, Joe. You're an idiot. You barely even got grips on your own country with all those people walking across the border on a daily basis. How would that threaten peace, Joe? The only thing you need to open your mouth for is when Matron comes around at 4 PM. You don't like us, we don't like you, so stay out of our business. You can't even get a grip on your own family, let alone your own country. Ask Hunter. Now, with all this surplus of people, let's have a look at how the bright sparks in government think that they should deal with it. The government allows houses to be split into flats without planning permission. Brilliant! Dover Discoverer digs for everyone. If anyone thinks that this is a good idea, think again. If you live on a quiet street or a cul-de-sac, and now the next minute half of those houses are turned into HMOs, then good luck getting some peace and quiet. Good luck finding a parking spot outside your own house. This isn't aimed at providing more affordable housing. This is just going to screw up the property market more than it already is. Good luck in selling your house, which is squeezed in between 2 HMOs and 2 more across the street. Goodbye to your equity. Stupidest idea ever, government. Well, maybe not the stupidest idea, they've had a lot of those. But it's just another plan to kick the can back down the road and ultimately to put more Dover Discoverers amongst us. We know what you're doing.
Wankers.
And don't worry, this isn't all aimed at the current failures in government. It would be even worse if those lunatic lefties got into power. Now, Labour could water down their pledge to spend 28,000 billion pounds a year projects on green stuff. 28 billion. Where are you getting 28 billion pounds from, Keir? Did Diane Abbott come back to help you with this? These morons have zero fiscal credibility. They are going to completely bankrupt this country. They're going to let everyone in, handouts for everyone. If you think it's bad now, if they get in, it's going to be a complete meltdown of this country. We are going to end up like Venezuela. Borrowing this, borrowing that. Taking from Peter to give to Paul. Then over to here. Nothing to see here. If these twits get into power, and in all fairness, they probably will, as we have a generation so brainwashed that they cannot see the wood for the trees, we are going to be absolutely fucked.
We're screwed!
What else do we have? Oh yes, we're all racialists. How on earth can the Black Death prove Britain was racist in the 14th century? Ugh. Oh yes, well done to the Museum of London, trying to prove something akin to what the German doctors did in the 1930s and 40s, measuring skulls to prove the biological difference between Jews and non-Jews. Well, that's the thing with confirmation bias. If you look hard enough, you'll find it. Apparently black people, black women in particular, were the worst affected by the Black Death. And this being the result of the devastating effects of pre-modern structural racialism. Keep your tiny sample size so small so that you can conclude your false findings, all in order to stir up a pot of the racial divide in an already hot pot of hatred, what we call Great Britain.
Unfucking believable.
Let's have a look at some crime because it doesn't really come up much on this channel. The millionaire 1-2 buckamushu pred, Lawrence Jones, was willing to stump up £1.4 million to pay his way out of prison. If you got enough money in this country, you can pretty much think you're above the law. He tried to pay for his release just 2 months after he was sentenced, so he could just carry on with his life and his crimes like nothing ever happened. The fact that he had to be put on remand ahead of his second trials because of fears that he had the means to just flee the country shows a lot really, doesn't it? Thank God that there's at least one Judge Joker who can use their common sense and turn down the application. We don't need people like that back on our streets. We've already got enough criminals fleeing the terror of France coming here by dinghy daily. Now, speaking of people discovering Dover by dinghy, the Albanian Scarface gang, who ran an illegal narcocos and quiche Lorraine empire, all from a tiny barbershop that was making £4,000 a day. To the normal eye, just sat a little old rundown barbershop offering shit haircuts and beard trims. But behind it lay a DIY empire of casinos, where dealers and criminals bet tens of thousands of pounds every single day, all whilst being served by scantily clad waitresses. Well done to the undercover cops who brought down their operation that delivered to 145 people daily. Who's to bet that these lot who lived the life of luxury with fast cars and fast women will also probably get fast sentences? And also, to be honest, who's also to bet that their operation won't stop just because they're behind bars? It will probably just give them a new customer base to carry on as they were before.
You're a smart motherfucker, that's right.
Now, back to our usual criminal profile. You remember that Winchester policeman last week? Well, the policeman who bit and scratched that woman in the bar has actually been sacked now. Well done to Hampshire Constabulary, you must have watched my video. You've even named the culprit as PC, piece of crap, Liam Richards. He's been added to the College of Policing's list of barred officers. These people shouldn't just be sacked, they should be thrown into jail. And to be honest, for even longer, as they're the ones supposed to be upholding the law, and then go against it themselves. That will be my first act as Prime Minister. Any policeman caught breaking the law will serve double the amount of time as a normal member of the public. Hear, hear. All in favour, say aye. Aye.
This man is a genius. A genius.
And here we go. Another one. A police officer jailed for stealing £50,000 from an evidence room to fund a shopping habit must pay back £32,000 in 28 days or face another 9 months behind bars. Again, the maths just isn't mathing up for me on this one. Steals £55,000, asked to pay back 32. Fuck that. You can spend double the amount of time that we would be spending behind bars for this crime. And you can pay back double the amount too. No bargaining of paying back money just to get a lighter sentence. Get fucked. She was only jailed for 24 months back in February, probably only having to serve half of that as well. £55,000 for 12 months, not too shabby of a salary if you ask me. She would search for uncounted cash in exhibit bags, remove it and then reseal it. To do this, she would just carefully slice open the bottom, remove the wads of cash and then sellotape it back together. Callous and stupid. It's on the job spec.
Good one. Yep, that's a good one.
Now, speaking of theft in the positions who abuse trust, we have an NHS hospital worker who injected himself with a medical grade drug that he was nicking from the department. So after robbing the hospital, so basically us, of a medical grade anaesthetic, he was stopped by police while driving erratically, where they discovered empty, used and full bottles in the back. He even used to stick himself with it whilst having a young child with him in his care. No care for himself, no care for others, no care for his job role, no care for patients, and all he got was 2.5 years behind bars. Maybe he should have sold it. He probably would have got less time.
Yeah, you bet your butt.
Bet your butt.
And don't worry, it doesn't just stop there. I also found this one on the exact same day. A doctor stole drugs from the hospital for his horizontal jogging activity. Here we have a trainee now facing jail after admitting that he stole from the hospital so he can get jiggy with his girlfriend. Girlfriend? Yeah, sure you have one of those, mate. Blow up doll, you probably mean. After nicking the narcocos from the hospital from December 19 all the way up till March this year, the judge has now said that he would not sentence him on it being all of his idea. Who fucking cares? If they can play that, we'll all go out and commit crimes, blame on someone else for a lighter sentence. Welcome to the postcode lottery of judges in the UK. What a fucking embarrassment.
Fucking outrageous.
Well, we've got the RMT union piping up. Their survey suggests that half of women transportation workers have been sexually assaulted in the past year. Ah yes, we should believe everything the RMT tells us. Or not. I don't think I've ever seen one decent enough looking to be assaulted. Most of them are dinosaurs looking like school dinner ladies. Apparently 4 in 10 have been victims of distressing behaviour, such as touching and unwanted comments. Now, judging by the RMT, they probably put stuff like tapping one of them on the shoulder and asking them why the fucking train isn't there, probably because they're all on strike. Calling bullshit on this, and also Mick Lynch, you look like a testicle.
He's absolutely right.
Now, the next big plague of terror can be attributed to those who don't really work very often. There's a warning as a deadly toothbrush disease is carried by 70,000 oblivious Brits. And no, it's not because not a single person in this country can get an NHS dentist appointment unless you're a Dover discoverer or behind bars. Yes, apparently we all have Hep C lurking on our toothy cleaners. Don't worry people, you can get a free test it yourself kit from home just to make sure you don't have the dreaded lurgy. Just send a test for absolutely everyone, for everything, knowing full well the doctors don't bother turning up or are too busy nicking stuff for their own use, all at a cost to us, the taxpayer. We should even start testing if we have that Black Death back from the 14th century.
That's a fun idea.
And finally today, a new fashion trend has come back into full swing. Unibrows are back in fashion as women take inspiration from Noel Gallagher. Back in fashion? I don't remember when these were in fashion. Ever. Women, please, stop. Stop with all this growing of the hair on your legs, your armpits and now your face. It doesn't look good, it makes you look like an idiot. We don't need you lot looking like Chewbacca with tits. Right, so what have we learned today? Immigration is still out of control. Joe Biden needs to fix his own country, more specifically his own family, before he starts commenting on ours. Still can't trust the police, can't trust doctors, and if you got any TikTok loving ladies in your life that need a last minute Christmas gift, may I suggest a razor. Signing out.